everyone, welcome to Unleash the Geek, your show about gaming, movies, TV, tech, pop culture, and everything that's cool about being a geek. I'm Brenna Temple.
Coming up on the show, we check out this year's most anticipated game releases, check in with Zach Galligan from cult favourite Gremlins, and revisit the birthplace of geek culture, Star Trek, the original series.
2015 is shaping up to be a huge year for gaming releases, so we thought we'd take you through our top 5 future releases for new generation consoles. At number 5 on our list is the indie-developed shooter Superhot. Originally released as a browser-based game, Superhot is a cool new take on shooters, where time freezes if and when the player stands still, leading to unpredictable and entertaining strategies for gameplay. The game began its life as a project for game devs, which required them to create something in 7 days or less, and may prove that working under pressure can sometimes pay off big time. Supernatural adventure game The Order 1886 is our number 4 and looks to be one of the big hits for PS4 in 2015.
Servant of our great king and knight of the Round Table.
Gameplay revolves around hunting down half-man, half-monsters through the streets of a steampunk 19th century London using superpowers and over-the-top physics to your advantage.
Are you all right?
Mortal Kombat will make its return to consoles in 2015, with what's expected to be a glorious blood and gore covered bang.
The end is near.
Getting a little ahead of yourself, aren't you?
This time around, players will not only be able to make use of the usual array of classic finishing moves, but interact with the environment to really make their opponent wish that they had never picked up the controller.
You should see your face.
Following on from the success of Arkham Asylum and Arkham City comes Rocksteady's final installment, Batman: Arkham Knight.
In death, he has nothing left to fear.
Expect more from this threequel than the previous Batman games, with a ramping up of mini-game and puzzle content, as well as the trademark satisfying combat that has made this series a huge hit.
Where do I find Scarecrow?
All I know is he's moving ahead with his plan. And he's got a whole freaking army backing him up. We're screwed, Batman.
I'll stop him. But first I'm getting you out of here.
Topping our list of the most anticipated release is the 4th installment of Sony's flagship, Uncharted.
Where are you, asshole?
Despite the subtitle, we doubt that this will be the last of Drake's adventures, but fans can expect the beautiful balance of story, gameplay, and cinematic visuals to return, and then some.
Where the hell did he go?
Still no locked-in release date, but when it comes, it will be an instant classic.
All right, kid. Let's go do it. One last time.
So hopefully that whets your appetite for a great year in gaming ahead. Stick around because we have more cool stuff after the break.
I want you to know we have hundreds of services available. If you don't buy from us now, you will regret it down the track. Will you join us? Will you join us?
This isn't even my voice. Did you know we've dubbed over this ad just to save us money? Now it's time to make you money. Why not contact us about your business and we'll show it on wagawagga.tv. Find out more by emailing me now. That's right, the email on your screen. Use technology to benefit you, your brand, and your customers.
Welcome back. Time to catch up with our reporter in the field with another fantastic celebrity interview.
Hi, welcome to the Con Ask, and we are here with Billy himself. Yeah, don't be a hero. Well, yes, be a hero and endear yourself to millions all around the world. Zach Galligan, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm very, very well. Now, Gremlins.
Yes.
1 and 2.
Yes.
Back for both.
Yep.
And two very different type of films in genre. Do you have a personal favorite? Did you prefer the more horror elements of the first one, or did you like the out and out, just bizarre Joe Dante letting his hair down, being allowed to do whatever the hell he wanted?
I prefer the first one. I love the mixture of the horror and the comedy. I think that's a very difficult thing to do. I thought Joe managed to kind of masterfully balance that in the first one. The second one is a deeply subversive and unusual sequel. I can't think of another sequel that's really like it, in that its sole purpose is to destroy the reputation of the first one. So that's a kind of subversive thing that Joe did. It's very funny. I appreciate it more and more every time I see it. It wasn't as much fun personally for me to film because the scheduling was very strange for me. When I did the first Gremlins, I basically just worked almost constantly, probably 75 out of like 80 days. Wow. So I was busy, and if I'm going to do a movie, I like that. And Gremlins 2, I did like the first 30 days, and then I had like 35 days off, and then I did like the last 30 days. So it was about 90, 95 days, and the middle was it was such a huge break in the middle. I went back to New York, I got sunburned, I peeled, I got pale again, I came back. I mean, it was a long break. And then you come back and you have to get your head back in the space again. And it was a very strange, it's a very, very strange thing. Maybe people who do TV series, I've never actually done like a long TV series like Game of Thrones or Breaking Bad. Maybe they're used to taking those big breaks and then coming back and getting back into it. But that was the first time I'd ever had like the part interrupted like that. Yeah. So it was strange.
How was it working with that amount of puppetry and animatronics, and how was that for you as an actor, working with, puppeteers and all that type of stuff?
Well, on the first, you'd have to talk about both movies, because with Chris Walas in the first one, Rick Baker in the second, two wildly different ways of approaching it, two really inventive, amazing guys. Chris Walas was only about 28 or 29 when he did all of the effects on Gremlins, and he was essentially making it up as he was going along.
Was it just him? Did he have a team, or just...
Well, when they hired him, it was just him. And he told a story. We did this thing for Empire Magazine where we got like 6 of us in a room from the movie. Rick Baker and Chris and Joe Dante, Dick Miller, myself. And everybody told their side of the story. It was like Rashomon. And everybody had like different experiences on Gremlins. Yeah. So I didn't know this until a few months ago, but when they hired Chris Walas, he did it on a handshake deal. And he said, I will do all of the effects for Gremlins, everything signed on the dotted line. And when he literally like closed the door and said, great, I can't wait to get started, he had no team, no people, no puppeteers, nothing, no shop, no place to build it. So like he signed the deal and then he had to go get everything.
Hi, my name's Val. I am the owner and manager of Eco Living and Gifts, and I'm situated in the Australian Arcade. Our business has products that are all Australian owned and manufactured. They're made from natural ingredients. They're safe for the environment, and I know that the products really work, as we've been using them for the last couple of years ourselves at home. We have a range of customers. We have mums with babies who are wanting safer products for their home and their children. We've got families who are wanting to detox their homes of the nasty chemicals that are in there. And we also have people who have sensitive skin and who might suffer from eczema, dermatitis or psoriasis. It makes me happy knowing that I can help someone with the products, and knowing that they're so safe and they can be used by everyone. It just gives me a great feeling every day.
Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. Well, you know the script, and if you don't, go and learn it. Star Trek first graced our screens back in 1966 with Kirk, Spock, Bones and crew exploring the universe where no man has gone before. For its time, Star Trek was a tour de force of writing, special effects, and performance in a genre that, on TV at least, was still in its infancy. But it held its own, competing against staples such as Bonanza, Gunsmoke, and I Love Lucy. What makes Star Trek so interesting is that the pilot episode had almost none of the characters that we've come to know so well. The only recognizable face in The Cage, Star Trek's first pilot episode, was Vulcan Science Officer Spock, played by Leonard Nimoy.
There's checked with a survey expedition, SS Columbia. Disappeared in that region.
And where no man has gone before, writers introduced Captain Kirk, Scotty, and Sulu, along with Dr. Piper, who would eventually be replaced by Bones McCoy.
Look, I'm a doctor, not an escalator. Spock, give me a hand.
On the strength of this combination of actors, the pilot was accepted, and the first series was greenlit. Star Trek also went where no show had gone before, by casting Nichelle Nichols as Lieutenant Uhura, the first African-American woman to be cast in an important leading role on TV.
Security sweeps of all decks are negative, Mr. Spock. No evidence of intruder.
Very well, cancel.
Mind you, it wasn't long before Captain Kirk, played with aplomb by William Shatner, began his illustrious womanizing career with females of all the species discovered by the Enterprise on its 5-year mission.
I lied. I would have told him anything to save you from that torment.
I believe you mean that.
So, what makes Star Trek so cool? Well, some may say the vision of the future that it portrays. And more specifically, the cool techie toys and gadgets it proposes. In fact, a surprising amount of Star Trek stuff has become a reality that we take for granted every day. The most obvious on the list, the smartphone, or communicator. Portable communication devices have been with us for a while now, and making contact with someone who may be hundreds or even thousands of kilometers away is a daily occurrence. But back in the 60s, this was probably the one bit of Star Trek gear that raised the most skeptic eyebrows, excepting the transporter, which just made people freak out. Another bit of Star Trek tech that's definitely on the way is the tricorder. Once a device that we could only dream about, medical diagnostic devices are becoming a reality, with NASA developing handheld sensors to detect bacteria on other planets, and a team of developers working on another device that will supposedly be able to detect 15 common illnesses with just a couple of waves across the patient's body. Cool. Okay, that's all we have time for. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and check out the other cool shows on wagawagga.tv. So, time for me to beam up.
I was finding it hard to find a lot of suppliers and, a lot of events saying we're hosting it ourselves. Every time I ring, it's like a mercy call, and then Brooke sort of finds what I need.
So she adapted to any situation. She handled everything. Like, I literally was like a guest.
Huge having a support like Brooke around. Brooke follows what my dream is and what the goal is I'm trying to achieve.
So the BB Signature Events vision is to unleash brands and personal stories by creating events that tap into their audience's senses. And these days, it's not just putting on a great show, it's actually sitting down, determining why you're putting on that event. So this could be to educate your audience, build a brand, raise awareness about your brand, or generate leads. Our 5-step process basically consists of consult. During this stage, we determine the aims and the objectives. Conceive is when we create the big grand idea. Planning basically consists of when I go away, booking in all the suppliers, having a variety of consults with the client. And then executing it's the big grand picture, you know, it all happens.
I firmly believe that the last stage, which consists of reminiscing, is the most important stage because our client's audience leave with a lasting impression of their event.
Brooke is outstanding. She always gets the job done, so if you can't find anything or you're not liking the way that the direction is heading, she helps you get back on track.
She gives you what you want, so you get the end result without the stress.
I guess the laughter which she brings through people's consultations when we've had events with Brunsley Park, that's what really is the pivotal point about having events with BB Signature Events.
It's just so great to see something that was once an idea come to life through an event.